Because the draw for the U-17 AFCON 2026 was done last week, as you all know, and Nigeria was not one of the teams there. It's a shame because Nigeria's under-17, about a decade ago was winning the World Cup, and now we can't even qualify as one of the best 16 teams on the tournament. I hope you guys know. In the qualifiers, Nigeria was in WAFU B zone, where there are 7 other countries: Benin, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Niger, and Togo. Nigeria was placed in Group B of the WAFU B qualifiers with Burkina Faso and Benin. We won our first game, beating Benin 4-1. Fair enough, and all these games are played in Yamoussoukro, Then we drew 0-0 against Burkina Faso. Mind you, these games were played in September last year. So we ended up qualifying for the semifinals alongside Burkina Faso. But unfortunately, we then had to play Ghana in the semifinal, and Ivory Coast played Burkina Faso. The worst part is they only took 2 teams from West Africa over to the qualifiers. So there's WAFU A, there's WAFU B, for example. So Nigeria lost to Ghana 2-0 in the semi-final, while Ivory Coast beat Burkina Faso. So, of course, Nigeria ended up beating Burkina Faso to 3rd place. But because we did not make it to the final, we did not get a spot in the tournament. Only the winners qualified, which were Ivory Coast and Ghana. One thing to mention is, even though I like to tackle NFF, I have to give smoke for Patrice Motsepe. This regional zonal is bullshit in Africa. And if we had competent leaders that could call this nonsense out, what do you mean you had a group that had Ivory Coast, Ghana, Burkina Faso? Then there's WAFU A that would have had Senegal, Mali. Then you now tell me what the fuck is the East Africa zone? They will now bring Kenya and Tanzania and those useless teams from Southern Africa. So, in fact, for once, I don't want to have smoke for the NFF, because now that I've figured out the way that bummy South African guy, Patrice Motsepe, has set up this is nonsense. There should be proper qualifiers like we have for the entire continent for AFCON qualifiers and World Cup qualifiers. And he better not implement this nonsense for regionals, because we cannot have West Africa and North Africa fight for our lives, while East Africa and Southern Africa, by way of their uselessness over the years, are playing bummy teams and qualifying for tournaments. So, Gusau, even though we should still be beating Ghana, but I'll give you some respite for this nonsense. And also, actually, I take it back, because since you're the head of the FA, why don't you go to the CAF Congress and bring things like this up? But clearly, you don't care enough. So that's how this kind of bullshit can happen. Excuse my French. So it is what it is, man. But I just want you guys to know about how we failed for that one. Now, another thing to bring up is, like Charles mentioned last week, there was the African Championship that literally just concluded last week with Senegal beating Morocco in the final, as you remember, as we all saw. Now, Ghana defended their title in the girls section. Ghana, mind you, Ghana are going to under-17. This is Ghana that were even clowning for missing AFCON. They're going to the World Cup. Mind you, they just appointed Carlos Queiroz, which it doesn't change much, to be honest. Like, he can't work miracles, but at least he may give them a plan. I still think Ghana are lucky they're playing Panama. They may win one game, but don't expect much if you're Ghanaian, is the truth. But when you look at how their underage teams are still doing, you have to say they still have a better structure than us right now, clearly. Mind you, Senegal won the title in the boys section. Ghana defended their title in the girls section. Nigeria did not even qualify for the men's section at all. We played in Group B of the qualifiers against Ivory Coast and Benin, and we lost by a whopping 4-1 to the Ivory Coast. Mind you, go and look at Ivory Coast AFCON squad. Go and look at the ages of all the players in there. Bazumana Toure, Amad Diallo, Yan Diomandi. Just go and look at all of the Evan Gesson. Look at their ages. Indika, Diomande, the centre-back that played that fantastic cross against Arsenal for Sporting last week. Guess the country he plays for. Yes, you guessed it right. So let's keep twiddling our thumbs here. We saw Ivory Coast host AFCON. Look at the stadiums. I know Nigerians now go to Ivory Coast on holiday, and they're so impressed by what they see. So it's not a surprise they're flogging us. And then we beat Benin Republic 1-0. So anyway, we even ended up with 3 points. Mind you, Benin beat Ivory Coast though. So all teams end up with 3 points. But Nigeria, by losing 4-1, had the worst goal difference. And that was it. Now, to make it worse for the girls, our girls who even qualified, they were drawn in a group. But guess what happened because of Azaman? Guess what happened because of Azaman? They did not show up. They did not participate. They qualified to play, but they did not participate. NFF. Then someone will tell me that the problem in Nigeria is feminists waiting for you to care about women. All of you that are anti-feminist, shame on you. Look at the NFF. 18 participated, qualified, they did not participate. Our most successful national team in the entire continent, men and women, they could not organize friendlies for them. If you cannot see what happens in Nigeria, you just want to be a loudmouth that feels like oppressing women, fair play, but not on my platform. I will try and educate you as much as possible. So I just wanted to call out the failure of the NFF and the NSC and everything happening in Nigeria for you to see. There was a time you will never see Nigeria struggle to qualify for any of these type of tournaments. And now it is the norm. It is not good enough. I'm tired of ranting about these guys. You see, I didn't wear my glasses. I wore contact lenses today so you can see my eyes well. I'm tired of ranting about NFF. But guys, we must do something. Something must change. It must. You know. Anyway, like I said, we're channeling the spirit of R9. We want excellence in all parts. And if you people don't want the excellence, someone can even have big injury, come back and score 8 goals in the World Cup and win it. That's the kind of energy I need from Nigeria. Missing back-to-back World Cups is equivalent of a knee injury. So what can you bounce back and what can you deliver? Let's see what goes on. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigerian they ever carry last.